Alrighty, hello everybody. It is good to see all of you here. So, without further ado, I'm going to be going over the 5 things I wish I knew before I got heavily into health and fitness and lifting. So, if you're feeling drained, foggy, things aren't just going well right now for you, and you don't know where to start with bettering your health, anything like that, I am here to try and cater your decision making to 5 easy things that you can start doing today that anyone can be doing to better your health, whether it's cognitively, physically, mentally. So to start off, I'm going to go over my first and most important step, I think, is getting sleep. Sleep is so utterly important for all of our systems in the body when it comes to cognitive function, testosterone, protein synthesis, cortisol levels. Everything is so inclined and tied back into sleep. With sleep, and I keep saying that word a lot, but I want you to try to shoot for 7 to 8 hours if possible. I know this is something that's so utterly simple, but is not talked about enough, because you can have the best training regimen, you can have the best diet, but if you don't have your sleep in check, it could be, incredibly just effective or defective to your physique, to everything else. Sleep has direct correlations to memory, like I said, cognitive function of trying to work on your hand-eye coordination, anything. Sleep is when we, recover, when we do things like that. So, long story short, you gotta do it. Some things I wrote down is during deep sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste through the glymphatic system, which is kind of like how a car engine flushes out the bad things. Also, sleep, if you get a good amount, has a decreased chance in cancer and things like that. Like I said, poor sleep can raise cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and it's this thing called ghrelin, which is sort of like your hunger hormone, which can cause you to feel less full and eat more, and in a sense, be able to gain weight easier. But one more thing, sleep also regulates insulin sensitivity. So things like your blood pressure, your blood sugar levels, everything like that, the way your body, in a sense, takes in sugar and uses it, being able to control that, so utterly important. I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but in general, this is your reminder. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I promise. And when you are sleeping, try to fall asleep at the same time. I know it's very tough. I try to shoot around 11 p.m. every night for at least the weekdays in general, because you want your circadian rhythm, which is your sleep cycle you have each and every day, to be consistent. When having a consistent sleep schedule is going to also help you be in deep sleep longer and more often, things like that. And also, try not to eat so early in the day, so late before you go to sleep. That sometimes also can affect your sleep quality and things like that, because if you are trying to go to sleep and your body's trying to digest a big meal, it's not going to work out for you. So I would try to stay at least an hour or two away if you can. If not, do a very light meal that might be very easily to digest, or a very small meal if able to. So, question I like to ask people is, have you ever noticed your cravings get a lot worse after a bad night's sleep, and has your workouts suffered immensely? This is something easy you can ask yourself or someone else that may be trying to guess if they get enough sleep. I've also had a lot of friends that had great physiques, great strength, and they actually then focused on their sleep, and their recovery was incredible. Their strength skyrocketed. It was amazing to see. So next, my number 2 question or point, whatever you want to say, when trying to get healthier is processed foods. I'm not here to demoralize foods, to shun if you do eat processed foods, but I'm here to tell you that when it comes to processed foods, you're going to be feeling worse than if you just ate, non-processed foods like vegetables, fruit, meats, things like that. And of course, people are going to be in the comments probably saying, oh, everything's processed in a sense. Well, no crap. But long story short, things like fast food, frozen meals, there's so many little things that you could be choosing differently than those. Pop, there's so many things that are just not I don't know, like in a sense biodegradable for the body to use. Like they're just not real things. Sometimes there's so many additives, there's so many preservatives. It's actually insane. I wrote down some science facts for you guys regarding processed foods. So they're engineered to be hyper palatable. So meaning high sugar, high salt, high fat. This will dysregulate the natural hunger cues and lead to overeating. So sometimes with, in a sense, fast food, when you're trying to eat a decent amount of food, right? You're trying to not overeat, but those salts, fats, and sugars can make you almost feel dehydrated in a sense, because if you're dehydrated, sometimes also you can misconceptualize that for hunger. So with a lot of things, also in general, fast food, processed foods, it's so much higher in calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, if you just eat non-processed foods, just like meats, vegetables, if it has vegetables, fruits, it's going to be so immensely helpful for you. Also, I try to tell everyone this. I learned this from Higher Up Wellness. Shout out Higher Up Wellness if you're watching this. Probably not. But with this, he says that if it's not grown in the ground or has a mom and dad, do not eat it. So fruits, everything, like you can kind of get a sense of what that is and things like that. So also with processed foods, I wrote down that the food spikes inflammation and disrupts your gut microbiome. So a lot of the times your body, your stomach has a microbiome that is made to digest certain foods, to things like that, just to work to help your body function. And your microbiome can get affected by eating these types of foods because, like you've ever heard of probiotics or the things that really help your gut biome flourish, but processed foods are just the first thing from that. So also, lastly, they often lack fiber, antioxidants, and micronutrients that the body needs to function properly, such as little vitamins like zinc, magnesium, potassium. There's so many little things that your body, your muscles, your cells use in your everyday life that you're not giving your body because you're eating that processed food that's just made to taste good, and you're not worried about the calories, what's in it, and things like that. So when I started swapping out frozen meals for home-cooked foods, I had fruits, protein, things like that, veggies, and my energy improved so much. Also, if you're having skin issues like acne, things like that, that can help a lot too if you start eating cleaner. So, and you don't have to be perfect. Like I eat out all the time. Not all the time. Sorry, that was a bad example. I eat out once a week. Like as long as 75-80% of all of your foods are just healthy, good foods, go get ice cream with your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, who you ever dating, whatever. Go have fun. Everything's about moderation. But if you can stay on top of your health with good foods, then digesting and like indulging in those more processed foods are going to be okay, because it's almost like a treat. It's like you get that tasty treat that's, I don't know, in a sense worth it. So I think that's a very healthy thing to have, is making sure you're doing moderation as well, but for foods. But on my third on my list, I have drink more water. I know this is very, in a sense straightforward, but a lot of people don't realize how important drinking water is. They always drink tea, lemonade, anything like that. But if you're walking around tired, foggy, or craving sugar, your cognitive function isn't good, you can't think very well, you might just be dehydrated. A lot of people's problems can be fixed if you just have good discipline. I actually reposted on my story on Instagram, 80% of all your problems can be fixed with proper discipline, and this is one of them too. So some science facts I wrote down for you guys if you're wondering more about the whole water thing is water supports cellular function, nutrient transport, temperature regulation, so many little things that can turn into big things as well. Even 1% to 2% dehydration can impair your cognitive function, reaction time, and increase your overall fatigue, which is insane to think about, that something as little as that, even if you're trying to work out and like you can't hit a PR for a long time, you might just not be drinking enough water. It's so crazy how much that can affect it. But so next, it can also, once I said, improve your skin elasticity, your digestion, even your joint health. Synovial fluid. Oh my gosh, I couldn't pronounce it. Why could I not pronounce it? Okay. So, also with joint health, like I was saying, Synovial fluid is within your joints, and it's like the cushioning between the bones and things like that. So nice functionality of moving the joints. So whether it's around your elbows, your knees, everything like that has some sort of cushioning, so your bones and everything can glide around very nice and smooth. So on the other hand, if you have high added sugars or artificial sweeteners, it's going to spike your blood sugar and cause imbalances in your body, which, when consumed excessively with soda, can affect the body with all those types of issues. That's why drinking water is so utterly important. So something I wrote down is I started carrying a water bottle with me all the time. You just sip on the water bottle. It's so easily helpful. Not chugging gallons, like you literally just sip on it every few minutes throughout the day. If you can, if you want to, if you have trouble, sometimes putting a little bit of sweetener, not a sweetener, more so like a flavoring, like a Mio or something, like a Pedialyte can sometimes help increase your intake of water if it actually tastes better. If you don't like the taste of water, you can try to figure it out, but that is that. So, start it off. Next, 4, go out and walk. So, it sounds so simple like all of these, but go and get your steps. This might sound soft, like I might tell you, go work out, go do your HIIT cardio, go do a marathon. No, you don't have to do that. Just going to get your steps is actually incredibly helpful. If you really don't know where to start, just go get some steps. If you have an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, even your phone can count steps for you. Go get 10,000 steps a day. Oh, I don't have time, Spencer. Well, you have time watching this video. Go walk while you watch this video. As simple as that. Literally as simple as that. You can go get your steps in. Go on your lunch break. Just go outside, get your lunch break. In general, it's going to help so much, guys. They did a study on people that got 10,000 steps a day, and the people that hit 10,000 steps compared to like 4,000, the 10,000 step people were more likely to live a lot longer in life. Very simple, very insane of a stat though. Like, it doesn't mean it's direct correlation, because causation and correlation don't equal all the time, but it's very interesting to see that people that got more steps throughout the day lived longer because it is healthier for you. It's so much better. So, with the science behind it, low intensity movements like walking will increase your blood flow. It'll help lymphatic circulation and help regulate blood sugar, like I said. If you're a diabetic, this can be a huge thing for you. Most people that are diabetic are told by the doctors to go on walks and to work out consistently, because higher muscle mass, less body fat will in turn help with blood sugar regulation, things like that. They all kind of play into each other, but sunlight also boosts vitamin D. I assume when you're walking, most people go outside, walk around, and will get vitamin D indirectly. And vitamin D will support your immune function, your hormones, your testosterone. It links to lower depression. Vitamin D does, so you're getting 2 benefits. You're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. Pretty incredible stuff here. So next, walking outside reduces your cortisol and increases your dopamine and serotonin receptors. So when you go outside, if you're ever feeling mentally not good, you just had an awful day, you can't think straight, go take a walk outside. Go breathe the air and realize where we're at in life. We're on a rock floating in the middle of space. Little things like that. Not even talking about bodily function benefits. It is insane to go outside, get some vitamin D, and take a deep breath. It's been linked to so much help with depression and mental illnesses. It's been insane. So it also improves your sleep quality. Like we said, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Oh, I can't get to sleep on time, I'm not tired. Go work out. Go get some steps in today. It's going to help you. Everything's going to play in together to overall help your physical and mental health. So, especially if you get sunlight in the morning, that vitamin D is going to help you a lot with your sleep quality and also help you wake up better and have a good circadian rhythm. So, I started going on walks about 20 to 30 minutes a few times a week. Something so utterly simple. You can bring a friend, bring your mom, dad, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, and go on a walk, talk about life, get some things out of the way, see how people were doing, check in with people. Simple as that, can be so beneficial. and it's great for you. And walking is just so good for you. All right, finally, guys, you knew this was coming. Number 5, working out 4 to 5 times a week. And the first thing I always get told, I don't have time. Bull crap. You have time. I know you have time. We don't need to be a bodybuilder. We just need to move consistently, and you have to start training regularly so you can, gain muscle. You can train so your elevated heart rate kind of helps your cardiovascular system. That's going to help your blood pressure. That's going to help so many things. Working out is going to help your blood sugar levels, your blood pressure, so many things. The fat mass that you have on your body, it will increase your muscle. It will be so good for you. So good for you. So I know, hear me out, okay? I have some stuff written down that might change your mind, and I know that a lot of people talk about it and everyone knows that's good for you, but why is it good for you? So exercise increases brain-derived neurotropic factors. So BDNF is pretty much, in a sense, boosting your learning, your memory, and your mood. Something very simple. Like I said, with the sleep, with the water, with the walking, it helps. Everything helps together, guys. If you can follow these 5 things, I guarantee you, your life is going to change so much. My life changed. I used to be a bum. I used to not be good in school. I used to have no drive in life. And ever since then, working out has almost taught me the fact of discipline and how much benefit you can get from long-term gratification and seeing the big picture in life. So next, strength training improves insulin sensitivity. Like I said, supports your metabolism and builds lean muscle, which burns more calories at rest. So let's talk about the steps and working out together right now. When you're existing, this is called your basic metabolic rate. Pretend I burn 2,500 calories. That's my BMR, basic metabolic rate. So when I'm working out, pretend I gain 5 pounds of muscle over 3 months, hypothetically. That's going to increase my overall basic metabolic rate to 2,700 calories. So in a sense, I could eat a little bit more calories and, not have to worry about gaining weight because that muscle is, in a sense, taking those calories in and using them to function, which is incredible to see, as well as with your basic metabolic rate, it's going to be affected heavily on your muscle mass and how many steps you do in a day and what you eat. All goes into play. But long story short, so many things like metabolism, like I said. Also, if you have blood sugar problems, high blood sugar, the muscle mass can regulate blood sugar levels. So getting more muscle mass will cause so many more benefits in your life than you can ever imagine. Also, they did another study that I read where they looked at the strength of people that were elderly in general, and the higher leg strength had a greater mortality rate in humans. So pretty much you lived longer if you had stronger legs, which correlates to balance, strength to get up off a chair, the toilet, everything. So I know I'm going into depth on this, but I cannot tell you how important it is to do these 5 things. These 5 things will change your life. I guarantee you, if you're not doing them, your life will change so much better. You'll have so much more of a passion and drive everything. So finally, regular workouts reduce anxiety and depression symptoms. There we go, depression symptoms. This is true, this is proven. If you have depressive symptoms, anxiety, please go work out. I don't care if you're too scared to go to a gym, go behind your house and go do air squats. Go do lunges. Simple things like that are gonna be so utterly helpful for you. I am the person to say that anxiety helped. My anxiety got fixed so much by working out. And my cousin, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's also had a first-hand experience in anxiety and improving from working out. It also just builds your confidence, your drive, and your discipline. I know I keep saying these things, but I cannot tell you how much it's changed my life working out. So it also improves cardiovascular health, bone density, posture, and confidence. Like I said, with bone density, a lot of women, that if you're watching this and you're a girl, you're more likely to have osteoporosis as you get older, which is the brittling of the bones. And if you work out, it will help your bone density. It is incredible to see how much working out can affect the entirety of the body. And those are one of the important things that if you break your hip, break your leg, anything like that as you get older, good luck living longer. If it's been proven that a high percentage of people after a certain age, if they break a lower body bone and they're bedridden, give you probably 2 years maybe, Like most people die within a 2-year span. So your future self will thank you. I bet your younger self wanted you to. So right now is the time you need to focus on these things. So it doesn't have to be perfect, crazy intensity. Start with 3 days a week. Start with 2 days a week. Do it with a friend, have a partner. Do body weight, dumbbells, machines. The consistency is what builds strength. It's not anything else. It's just doing it every day. And every day you get a little bit better, try a little harder. It'll be worth it. So, okay guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed my top 5 things that I believe will make you healthier and will change your life if you have not done them. These 5 things have changed my life, and I hope if you can just give them a try for a month. I know it's tough, but if you can make them a part of your everyday life, it'll be so much better, so much worth it. So if you're still here, I want to remind you something. You don't have to flip your life upside down to feel better. These 5 habits are free, proven, and simple. They'll make you feel more like you, energized, focused, and driven. So start with, there we go. Finally, I want to thank every single one of you for watching this video. Everyone has been supporting me. I want to say, I can't say it enough. You have been getting my life closer every single day to doing this. I really do want to keep trying to learn and be helping people. So, reminder guys, whatever you're doing, I bet you can. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, spending time with friends and family. Tune in tomorrow for the next video. Tune in for my lives, my Instagrams, everything like that. I post all the time, trying to help people with their health and their mental health. So, God bless you all. See you guys tomorrow for the next one. As once again, I bet you can, guys.